Welcome to another episode of According to Amabile. My name is Michele Amabile, and today I've got an old friend on the show, a dear friend, and you know him from Dramarama, and the band is going to be honored with a huge induction ceremony this Saturday at the Count Basie Center for the Arts. I am so happy for these guys. Nobody deserves it more. They're going to be inducted alongside Kate Pierson and Fred Schneider of the B-52s. They're going to be in the Count Basie Center for the Arts Walk of Fame. They got some big plans coming up, and they're my own personal superheroes because they stepped in to save the show in Freehold this weekend, July 11th. Please welcome John Easdale from Dramarama. John,
I,
hi.
I don't know if you can see I'm blushing from that
Aw.
nice interview. I mean, nice introduction. That's very nice, Michelle. And I won't tell anybody how long we've known each other because then they'll start doing math and figuring out how old we are. So,
22.
huh?
We're 22. 22.
Yeah, stuck at 22.
I am so happy for Dramarama. And when did you guys first find out that you're going to be inducted into the Count Basie Center Walk of Fame? When did they tell you?
It was just a few weeks ago. We were added onto the show late. The English beat had to withdraw, and they invited us, so that was great. And so we heard about that not too long ago. I mean, I want to say a month, maybe, not much longer than that, and like a week or two after that. So maybe 3 weeks. I'm not sure. At first, I thought it was a prank. I couldn't believe it.
A
I'm serious.
prank?
Seriously, I could not believe that they were serious about it.
Well, I think it's going to be a beautiful day. They're going to induct you the same day as the show in Freehold. And you know what? This is a brand new venue, the Park Stage in Freehold. They had a beautiful opening night that I was able to go and check out with the Cliffs playing and Eddie Testa as a special guest. And then Sublime, I understand that show was fantastic. And the B-52 is coming to Freehold, especially after they just made all those headlines with what happened with them in Germany.
Oh my goodness, that looks scary.
For those of you that are just watching the program or just listening that don't know, the B-52s had a very scary situation where a storm came through. There was lightning and a lot of their equipment got destroyed. And their tour manager, Alice, made them wait 10 minutes. And that 10 minutes was crucial because the band would have been on stage when the scaffolding fell down. Claudia, the Rock Lobster, was in danger. Claudia's fine. But it's just such a crazy thing that happened to the band, and just so happy that they're safe and they're going to be in Freehold. And now Dramarama on the bill. I can't think of a better way to spend a summer night.
I'm very excited. We are delighted to be coming back to our home state, and New Jersey is where we grew up and where we started, and always happy to return.
Wayne, New Jersey. What does receiving this recognition in New Jersey mean to you personally, John?
It's I can't say it's a dream come true because it's not a dream I ever really would have imagined. Honestly, God, when we started out, the kind of music I was writing and that we were performing wasn't the kind of music that was on the radio in New York City, which is what we heard. Uh, it was kind of underground, kind of just to the left of center. And we did it because we wanted to do it, and we used to, we paid to make our first couple of records ourselves. We took it to the factory and pressed our own vinyl, and never expected to have what do you call a career. So I'm just shocked and surprised and thrilled, and it means everything to me. It's incredibly wonderfully cool.
This recognition says a lot about the legacy of Dramarama, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, it's been 44 years since the band started out. So I think it's nothing short of a tiny miracle that we're still doing it, and we're still doing it with my two good buddies, Mark and Peter, who we all graduated high school together in Wayne Hills High School in 1979, and the three of us will be up on stage on Saturday night, rocking out with the new guys have both been with me for like 30 plus years. So it's it's the best. It's the coolest thing.
I love how you say the new guys. And one thing that I always loved about your band is, and this is something that with the state of radio right now, is Dramarama got a lot of love from radio DJs, particularly Rodney out in California, playing. You're right, like a band from New Jersey getting anything played in California, just such an iconic story, especially on that radio station.
Well, it was a it was the album came out in France on a label called New Rose, and Rodney Bingenheimer, Los Angeles DJ, bought it at a record store. He liked the cover. We had
Sounds like Rodney.
a model named Edie Cedric on the cover, and he bought it, and he thought we were from France. And for the first few weeks that he was playing it on the show, and he had like a Sunday night show. He wasn't on regular radio, and he played our record. And he said he thought we were from France because it was a French label. And then we found out about it, and we called him and said, "Hey, we're from New Jersey." The radio station at the same time put it in what they call regular rotation, and it was a big deal. It was the phones lit up, and so we came out for a vacation to do one show, and ended up staying in California.
Go West, young Dramarama.
Uh-huh. But we were happy because then the station used to be on WHTG.
FM
Start
1063.
Yeah, they started playing our music out there, and then so we were able to come back, and it's been a beautiful thing.
Oh, we went deep with Dramarama. We played just about everything I think you ever recorded. Last Cigarette, my personal favorite, 7 minutes, more or less. Still my favorite John Easdale lyric of all time. She looks like Mrs. Allen Funt,
Hey,
Candid
hey,
Camera.
no rhyming.
I love that song. I love that song so much.
Thank you.
And then like I don't know, I think what it is about your band is you like television as much as I do. Like referencing Johnny Carson and Wonderama. I mean, like one of the first stars I ever came in contact with was Bob McAllister. He did a show at Manalapan High School. And I was a kid, and I was a little kid. My mom brought me, and he went running down the aisles, and I was so starstruck because it was Wonderama. And you referenced that in Wonderama Land. It's
Goodness.
like and you were on Uncle Floyd, then you talked about Uncle Floyd and work for food. I mean, you just like television as much as I did. So
I was definitely a TV baby, and yeah, still am a little too much, and there's way too many channels now, and then there's on demand, which is there's not enough time to watch all the cool stuff that there is to watch,
oh,
much
the
like all
streaming.
the classic stuff, and then you just get lost in YouTube. Say what you will about technology, complain as much as you want, but it enables you and everybody to re- look at old stuff. Back in the days when it was just record stores couldn't carry every album by Bob Dylan or the Rolling Stones. They'd have the best of and the new one and maybe one or two others. But now you can dial up any song you want by the Rolling Stones or by pretty much any band ever. Find it on YouTube, find it on Spotify or whatever. It enables people now, kids growing up can discover all kinds of music that it would have been really hard for them to find unless it was in their older brothers and sisters or their mothers and fathers collections.
Well, what's neat about Dramarama is you guys are still always recording and still finding new things to say. Tell me what's going on now.
Well, we put out an album right during the pandemic, which wasn't a great move on our part, but we didn't know it came out like in May of 2020. So that's the last album we put out. We've been in the studio since then, and we're working on hopefully making another record. We're very lucky because we can also, people want to hear our old songs. So it's amazing. We do oldies shows, or I call them oldies shows. We do like 80s shows. We were on the 80s cruise, and so we can do new stuff, and and lean on our catalog as well. So I don't know. It amazes me.
You do a lot of those cool 80s festivals too, like out in LA. Tell me what those crowds are like.
They very much are really, really, they're very excited about the bands. Um, and a lot of times, you don't get to play a full show, but they get to see, a bunch of bands that they like and hear a lot of music that they like, and they're very enthusiastic. I'll tell you, when we did the cruise, the 80s cruise, the people who do that are the same people who do the Star Trek cruise, and the people who go on the 80s cruise, they are just as, involved. They have all the costumes and the clothes. I don't know how they fit it into their trunks, but it the level of participation is remarkable, and man, I'm just happy to be there.
Looking back, what are the moments you were most proud of with Dramarama? Tour moments, people you toured with,
And
did a lot of cool stuff.
yeah, again, miracles. We traveled the world and we played with a lot of cool bands and did a lot of cool stuff, and we're still doing a lot of cool stuff. I don't have any particular. I think maybe one of the first time we played and sold out a club, or that was pretty incredible. First time we played in California, it was like, wow, people are paid and bought tickets to come see us. It really blew us away. When we got back together in 2003, we did a show, uh and it was going to be like one and done. We VH1 did a show called Bands Reunited, and they showed up on, kind of ambushed each individual member and said, "Hey, would you get together with your band?" And we all said yes. So we got together and we went and did this show, and it was called Flashback to the Future, and it was like new bands and old bands, and like The Cure and Duran Duran and us, and newer bands like Jet and Kings of Leon, and I don't know. But when we came out, I don't know what we were expecting. There was, not that many people. It was earlier in the day, and then when we came on, all of a sudden, like, everybody was out in the in the outer in the lobby, or wherever you call it, and they all of a sudden there were thousands and thousands and thousands of people out there for us, and I'm like, whoa. And I think we all were like, whoa. And so at that point we decided, well, maybe we should keep doing this Dramarama thing. And so now, 23 years later, we're still doing it.
And being honored by the Count Basie Center for the Arts, where we just saw you for Light of Day.
Uh-huh.
Again, you're always there for Jersey, always there when we need you. Tell me about that night. Bruce was there. Like, what a crazy fun night that was.
Well, the light of day is something that's very, very, I'm very happy and pleased and proud to be a part of. I think, it sounds corny, giving back, but it's absolutely true. All those bands are out there to help the fight to find a cure for Parkinson's, and I'm just so proud to be there, and contributing. And yeah, that was a great night. We've been doing it for probably 20 years or more. Uh, we've only missed a couple. Obviously, they stopped it during COVID, and then I had to miss one once for health reasons. But other than that, we're there, and we're proud to be there, and it's the best. And the fact that Bruce shows up, and you get to see Bruce in a relatively smaller setting than the stadiums and arenas where you usually see him, is just, icing on the cake.
It's just so great to have that kind of talent gathered in the Basie. I think that's what I love about the Basie the most. Like you could be uh, a kid just kind of getting started, like Jake Thistle and you guys and Bruce and Johnny Resnick, and just put them all together and just give a great night of music and entertainment. And everybody's all on the same level that night.
I guess I don't
Yeah,
know.
you know what I mean.
I never think I never think of myself as being on the same level as most of those other guys. I still consider myself to be a beginner, an amateur compared to all those pros. They're all so great.
Oh,
Uh,
you're too humble, John. I mean, if you could talk to any young musician starting out, I'm sure you'd have some great advice. What would be the number one thing you would tell someone just starting out right now?
uh, that's
Besides,
starting
don't
out
do
right
it.
now.
I'm just kidding.
I have no idea. I look at the way music is consumed and the way it is for getting, when I was starting out, it was like get on the radio, try to get on a radio station or try to get in the newspaper or whatever, there was no streaming. There was no, I don't know. I have just don't be discouraged by rejection and keep trying and do it because you love it, not because you think you're going to get famous. Because as I always say, it's easier to win the lottery than it is to be a truly successful band. So do it because you love it, and do it because you think what you do is important, and be proud and be happy, and cross your fingers and keep going.
Well, we are just so happy that you're coming home to Jersey this out now. I'm sure you've got a great set planned and you're going to be with the B-52s and I understand that we've got some more Dramarama surprises coming in 2026.
Fingers crossed. Yeah, we're hoping to. Well, we're definitely going to be back before the end of the year to Asbury, I think, and we like to get back to the Wonder Bar every year. It's like our home away from home. But bottom line, last thing I just want to say, it is truly an honor to be recognized and by the Count Basie, and the Basie Center is more than just a theater. They have a lot of programs and things for kids, and it's just a wonderful thing, and it's a wonderful thing to be recognized. I'm honored, and we all are, and I do honestly feel like Wayne and Garth in Wayne's World, like we're not worthy, but thank you.
Joining the long list that is growing at the Basie, which started with John Bon Jovi, which is just such a wonderful thing. John Easdale, thank you so much for joining me today on According to Amabile. Dramarama, Freehold, the Park Stage, July 11th with the B-52s. Tickets available for that show. And then beyond, looking into September, might have something else coming up.
Yeah, well, look on the 12th or 13th, maybe it will be announced.
Excellent. John Easdale, thank you so much. And thank you for listening to According to Amabile. Remember, if you like what you're hearing, like and subscribe. And we'll see you next time.
Thanks, Michelle.
Thank you, John.